Welcome to the News You Can Use podcast. I am the host with the most, Big Surf Guy. And today, we got my boy D-Class in the building. As usual, I'm a brand podcast. Y'all go holler at him. D-Class, say what's up to the people before I talk about this title that I put on this video.
Man, what's the damn deal, man? We tapped in once again, man.
We back with it. So we kind of like coming back to where we left off on the last video. So if y'all want to kind of see what we were talking about on the last video, go check it out now. It's probably going to be right down there. So the name of this is Big U, Suge Knight, and more news. So let's get into the news. Today we are just like going through my timeline on YouTube. So it's not like anything specific. It's just really what pops up. Let's talk about.
But Wack, you said R.P. Loose Cannon. When they was reading the article. So when you say that,
I said there's no way that could be him. You had already texted me. Remember? I knew you all right.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, The Answer. Loose Cannon goes to No Jumper to air out his grievances with Wack. Guess who calls in? Is this irreconcilable? Is it real beef? Let's find out.
Wack 100.
Yo, listen, I was asleep. People calling me, and I really don't know what's really going on. Loose up there, something that's what it is.
Yeah, we got Loose on the Tuesday show.
Okay, so we went over this, Loose. Like, and I'm gonna say it again.
let's go. FaceTime. FaceTime, Wack.
Man, I'm at the crib, bro.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk.
You know you be ass nigga.
Let's talk.
I want to know what narrative. I'm gonna say it again, right? I repeated what your wife said. If I would have known for real, if I would have watched you go to jail, I still would have told the world you ain't in jail.
No, I understand that. Okay, go ahead. What?
I know a nigga that I know that got a woman and a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Been laying low, been watching who know what, because niggas be putting addresses up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a if I'd have been right there, saw him put you in the car, I'ma still say he ain't in jail.
No, yeah, that's not the thing. So I understand your take when it came down to that, but when you read, or not you, but the club. Wait, hold on, wait. When the Clubhouse girls called and was reading of a fake incident, I mean not a fake incident, but an incident at 3 a.m. and the incident happened at 10 a.m. and then you come on No Jumper with Adam and read the same incident.
No, I didn't read no incident. What are you talking about? Never read an incident.
He didn't read the incident?
I never
The same
read
article?
we talking about. And I told you, on Clubhouse, I be in the room, out the room.
I know you be in and out. But no
incident on nothing. Only thing I did was I repeated what your wife said. I said, listen, she never said it was her house. She said the streets blocked off. She never said he's in jail. She said, I hope he's at a...
Oh my God, you guys. The entire block is surrounded. They will not let me come home.
But Wack, you said R.P. Loose Cannon when they was reading the article. So when you say that,
no, I said there's no way that could be him because the article they read, they said there's a nigga dead theyself, and I said it would be R.I.P. Loose Cannon, and he not dead because Loose. Remember, I'm gonna remind you of something. I ducked everybody all day. I didn't go to Clubhouse till 6 p.m. That's a 6 o'clock room. You had already texted me. Remember? I knew you all right. You text me.
Okay, so basically you said it, and then what about when the nigga 600 running content? You get what I'm saying? So it's like certain things.
Hold on, wait.
Let's go.
This is what I can't do. You running content on him. He run. I've been on him the last couple of days. You notice he ain't really did because I've been telling him don't feed into it. But you running it on.
Cause what? around with me.
Okay, but what if
60 crib. Like we can't even go there. Why? Because this is not the same type of I am. I would get cuz out of here before summertime. Neighborhood crib.
But here go the question: how often do all be in front of 600?
No, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not negating this situation. That we around 600 maybe once every 6 months, right? But
Adam, can you stop BRICC Baby from doing what he gonna do on his phone?
No. He's his own man.
I can't stop this from responding and doing what you know.
But you should tell 600 if he play with loose cannon, cuz gonna.
Okay, well let me ask you a question. After all you didn't get, right? This morning you asked me to get the nigga on the phone, right?
Yep.
Did I get him on the phone?
Yeah, you Wack. The question is not me. What's the name? My problem is when the content was ran, right? You could have easily debunked it, but everybody looked at you and basically said, "Hey, Wack don't believe it."
This is what we gonna do. This is even. We got a few big deals, right?
Yep.
I will zero out my end. Lot of money, couple million, right?
Yep.
If you could show me what I ran content on you, bro. Why you keep saying that?
Okay, so listen.
Show me.
Listen, we're gonna take care of those deals, right? But let's do it on the Adam and Wack show, and we play the content and let the people judge. And wait, we let the people judge, because if you right, no, Wack, if you right, on Dead Homies, I get him on here and I apologize. But if the comments say that I'm right,
hold on, and I think BRICK, Lush, and Adam would agree. If Wack 100 would have ran content on Loose Cannon, that would have been viral.
It was viral.
And Luke, I told you this. Now let me ask y'all. Anything going on with Loose Cannon, and they can't get to Loose Cannon,
they get to you.
Put up on Loose Cannon. Who the they coming at with it?
But
Wack 100.
Exactly, but Wack. So instead.
So I don't know what that was about, but I guess Wack and Loose got into it before Loose Cannon went to jail.
Man, that sounds like a bunch of female shit.
Yeah, it sounds like some girl.
Yes, I'm recently aware of a letter that was written by the brother Kevin Hackey in regards to the video that I did with Judy Lakowski. And I understand everything he said in that video, but I just want to, reflect and point you to this this video right here. This is the one that I choose to believe.
I had nothing to do with Pac's death. He calls Hackey and former bodyguard Frank Alexander liars. But it's Hackey who was offering the truth challenge.
My 100,000 is sitting here. I want Reggie to put up 100,000. I will gladly take a polygraph, and I will gladly take his money, and I'll go ahead and start a college fund for underprivileged kids in Las Vegas under Tupac's name. The only thing I want here is for Reggie to be arrested.
Life like cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it.
Drummer, you heard what I said. You guys, you heard what I said.
Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
I gotta come with a better intro.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy Delray Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. It's very much appreciated, and it helps the video get out to more potential subscribers as well as my current subscribers. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell a friend. But most importantly, like I always say, if you're new to the channel and you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of the straight game, please do me a favor and hit the bell notification. I'm going to get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I got him. I told you everything that I've done up until this point has been very strategic. Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has told the ultimate lie to his subscribers, and worst of all, to himself. And the fact of the matter is, he thought that he had covered all of his tracks, but he didn't. And I picked up on it. Because when you're a malignant narcissist, you can't help but try to win at all costs. And sometimes the price that you have to pay is too high. Let me tell you what I mean. I've done some recent videos, but with a young lady by the name of Judy Lakowski, who was the fiance of Michael Amore. And the reason for those videos is she was shedding light on certain situations and giving intricate details to those situations in regards to what Michael Moore had told her, how he passed away, and various other things that that we had talked about. Remember, I told you when you throw a rock in the back of a pack of dogs, the one that gets hit is the one that hollers. Once again, Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. has hollered because he got hit by the truth that Judy Lakowski was speaking on. Judy Lakowski had been on Bomb First before, and from the interview that I listened to, she didn't back down. She told Reggie Wright that Michael Moore heard the got him after Tupac had got shot. And she stood on that. And she said the same thing, as well as various other things in relation, and not in relation to that, in regards to Michael Moore. And so Reggie Wright proceeds to make a video calling Miss Lakowski all kinds of names, calling her fat. And like I said, once again, Reggie has not looked in the mirror lately. You can't do that. That's the pot calling the kettle black. I've never met Miss Lakowski personally to know whether she was either or. You know what I mean? I appreciate her truth and her time, and for sharing it with me, for allowing me to share it with you. But in the video that Reggie did calling names, and he slipped up. He was bragging. He was lying. He was misleading. And one thing in particular is, once somebody tells you a lie about something small, you know that they will lie about anything. So in this video right here, Reggie Wright proceeds to say that he recently got an ASCAP royalty check. It's the royalty check for music from his bogus publishing company that he named identically after Suge's publishing company, hoping that one day that he could steal Suge's publishing company from him. That's the only reason why you would name your company the same name as Suge's company, correct? Right. He lied and he said he owned Daz's publishing, right? So if he owned Daz's publishing, in this check, you should be getting revenue from Ambitions of a Rider, I Ain't Mad at You, Scandalous, and all of these other songs that have been played on the radio, because that's what ASCAP pays the royalties to radio television when it's played on radio and television. But no, what Reggie did was he told John in a braggadocious manner, he said, John, redact that, don't show how much I got for my check, because I don't want them to get jealous of me and all of this, that, and the other. But guess what gullible John didn't do? He didn't redact it all the way. And in this top right-hand corner, you see the total royalty amount for this month of this date, and it is $115. John, you slipped up. You didn't get it right, John. And the sad part about it is, John redacted this check, letting Reggie lie to you and tell you all of these things when he knew that the amount was $115. But we're going to be jealous of them or jealous of him We don't want to get mad about $115. I just spent $115 on dinner. Facts. Right? So why lie about something so small and petty? Because that's who he is. He's a small and petty dude who's been masquerading as this big shot guy, right? Who's not that. So if the check he had to lie about, then we don't believe the preceding letter that he alleges that Kevin Hackey wrote him, basically trying to exonerate him or dissolve him of being involved with Tupac's murder. Isn't that ironic? So he lies about this check, saying he didn't want us to be jealous of him for the amount that he got. He told us he owned Daz's publishing. Daz, I hope you're listening. We caught him, Daz. We caught him. And everybody that Reggie Wright Jr. has ever said anything about, if he said anything negative about you, you need to share this video. He's a fraud. He's a fraud, period. You talked about me, right? You called me the groupie. He even went as far as to say that I was gay, right? I ain't get mad. I know who I am. You know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, you haven't proven none of those things. But what we've proved is you're a liar and you're a fraud.
What you think, D-Class? Told you how I feel about the dude. I feel like you've been lying this whole time.
Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit going on, bro. Like, I feel like they kind of already know what it is, man. They just dragging this shit out, man. At this point.
Dragging it along. So let's keep going.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that he had to lie about this supposedly big check that he had, we don't believe that the letter's from Kevin Hackey. Nah, we don't believe you. We need to hear from Kevin Hackey, right? And the sad part about it is I have nothing against Kevin Hackey. I guess Reggie, reached out to him and probably boosted some lie to him to get him to respond, right? Check it out. Kevin Hackey, what lost me in the letter more than anything was when Kevin Hackey admitted that he was an FBI informant. From that part, I stopped listening to it. I'm like, wow. Because the question that I have to ask, right, is that did Tupac Shakur know that Kevin Hackey was an FBI informant? That's why this situation is so convoluted and people believe so much of what they believe is because that came out afterwards. But guess who wasn't? Michael Moore. Michael Moore was a fire captain, right? Michael Moore spoke the truth as to how he felt about Tupac, but yet each and every day came and did his job to a T. So we caught him, y'all. He been doing this shit for years. And then when somebody comes up, you know what he does? He does the old elementary high school trick. He starts name calling the groupie, the midget, Genie, and all of these other little elementary school diversion tactics to get you away from the facts that Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. was complicit in the death of Tupac Shakur. He did, in fact, pull the security off of Tupac that night. He did, in fact, say that they shouldn't have shouldn't carry guns that night. He did, in fact, did not send the 5 security guards that Suge Knight had requested that he send. Suge Knight said it out of his own mouth, y'all.
There was a plan already to do something to him.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, I had 2 of the toughest guys for him, and Reggie pulled them off of me. It didn't have to happen. I told him to send 5 guys from the club to there, and they never said nobody.
So now, Reggie Wright Jr. is the same guy, or Reggie the Rat Wright Jr. is the same guy, right? Who would sit here and have you believe that he's taking up for Suge Knight and speaking on his behalf when
Suge can't expose Reggie. And he can't because Reggie know too much. But they got a weird relationship, and you can tell. You can tell that Suge want to say certain things about Reggie, but he just can't.
When in the past, Reggie has called Suge a snitch. You don't.
And I think that's why.
Have to believe me. Here it is from their channel. And then all of a sudden he'll come back again and be like, you know, me and Suge like brothers, and we go back. And no, come on now. You got to be kidding me. Once again, this is the manipulation, misinformation, lies, and erroneous garbage that he's been spewing out for years.
Right.
But we caught him. Everything that you've ever said about Snoop is a lie. We don't believe you. You lied about this check and said that we would be jealous of you. Everything that you said about Daz is a lie. Everything you said about DJ Quick is a lie. Everything that you said about anybody is a lie. We do not believe him. This letter that it's allegedly from Kevin Hackey is a lie until we hear it from Kevin Hackey's mouth himself. If he lied about something as little as this supposedly big check he got that we're going to be jealous of, that he thought that was redacted but wasn't, checkmate.
Shame on you, Reggie. Rolling Loud.
Bro, just got out. I'm trying to go to Boston, there's money in it. I'm rolling up a shop in the market share. Bring the band with the TV. Every real thing needs one of these. I'm from the Scotia, where you can get real. You gotta be from the Bay to know how I feel. I'm not saying I'm just a real ass nigga. You need to break a deal when you know how to get it. They trying to put Uncle Larry overseas. But for that, bitch, I need hands up. Smoking on the shop with the top hands up. I'm trying to kill my bitch. I work too hard. I'm feeling good today. How we feeling? I'm feeling good today.
Shout out to June, man, performing that Rolling Loud. That was pretty dope. I wanted to go to Rolling Loud back in the day, man, when like Wiz and Currency was taking over that shit, but I don't know, it don't look as fun as it used to. You ever thought about going D-Glass?
Never had no interest in going. Really and truly, I ain't even know what that shit was till I was probably an adult, bro. That lets you know how far out of the loop I was with that shit.
Facts.
Like I would hear about like Coachella, all that shit. Like man, I thought Coachella was in like a whole nother area. Like I would have never thought that shit was in Cali.
That's crazy. All right.
This is bad. Really, really, really bad. If you haven't heard already, earlier this morning, the Department of Justice announced that Big U, Loose Cannon, and BRICC Baby, they've all been charged in a federal complaint alleging racketeering crimes were committed by the Rolling 60s. 19 people total have been arrested and charged in the first federal complaint. Now, this federal complaint is surrounding Big U and Big U Enterprises, and the people you see on the screen are people the feds believe helped Big U commit crimes. BRICC Baby is also the subject of another separate sealed indictment that we know nothing about until BRICC Baby goes to court and the indictment gets unsealed. So there's a lot of components working here, and I'm going to try to simplify it as much as possible in this video. This came as a shock to a lot of us, but the people involved like BRICC Baby and Loose Cannon, they've been expecting this for a very long time. It's been a countdown, to be honest. They've knew that the RICO was coming for some time now. The feds have raided BRICC Baby and Loose Cannon's crib. They've had several interactions with the feds. So the feds have been messing with them for a very long time, and they would even admit to such.
Look, outside of that, the feds picked you up 2 times, right? You said the feds have picked you up on numerous occasions, right?
What part?
Lady
what time?
Fino,
Yeah. Okay, so look.
So
we're gonna elaborate and we're gonna respond to that. Yeah. No. Because at the end of the day, it's like this, right? Because when the same time they came and picked your ass up, right? They came and got Big Useless, right? And then they rolled on me.
Yeah.
So you already know the answer.
I don't know that they wrote on you. I'm telling you. I'm saying
we dealing with this
2 separate times.
Okay,
I hear you.
Okay, wait. Hold on.
You're talking.
No, look
to them.
Okay, so listen.
You can't just say Okay,
no. So
Loose Cannon and BRICC Baby revealed last night that Loose Cannon, BRICC Baby, and Big U all had a run-in with the feds right around the exact same time. Now, BRICC Baby's house was raided and an AK-47 was found. And BRICC Baby picked up a federal gun case at the time. Now, BRICC will say that the feds and the state police raided his home. However, the feds didn't really charge him. It's the state police who charged him, but it was a DA reject. But after they raided his crib, BRICC Baby will confide in his homie at the time called Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600. And he would tell 600 that he was notified that Big U was being investigated for a federal RICO. And he would tell 600 that the federal RICO was stemming from a hot one out of town. And by hot one, he means a murder that took place out of town.
600, that go back to you. He told you, the feds talked to him and told you what?
You understand? I'm with BRICC at this time. I was his savior to bring it back to the hood. He telling me everything that's going on, so I know what's going on with the case and everything other. So he's telling me, man, the feds be on all your videos, bro. They like, man, Lovejoy gives us a tour of the hood every day.
He telling me.
They watch all your videos. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, huh? Why do I watch my video? Like, whatever. But he's like, yeah, bro. They found the chop. I'm like, okay. So I didn't really think nothing of it because, like I told you, my whole stance with him at that point was he never told before this. So I just assumed that he was in some hot grease and he had whatever he had coming from the legal system. So I never really followed up on till time started going by. Like, nigga, what's up with that case? They start going around it. You know
no, 600. Your first red flag was when he started telling you the feds was telling him about Big U.
Oh,
feds don't go to telling you unless you.
So that's what he telling me. He like, bro, Big U on fire, bro. It's ugly for Cuz. They want Cuz in jail. They got a RICO on him. I'm like, yeah. He like, no, but you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's a Big U RICO, not a 6-0 RICO. Everybody who he been dealing with. They tied Cuz to a hot one out the way. I'm like, oh, he said, yes, ugly. I'm like, damn.
That's the thing the family called.
Flacco, you see what we be saying?
Whoa, who's that Flacco guy? I don't know who he is, bro. That's not this guy, bro. Not Flacco. Hey, bro. I don't know nothing. The hot one out of town, aka the murder out of town that they're referring to, is the 2021 murder of Rayshawn Williams. Rayshawn Williams is the best friend of Big U's son. Rayshawn Williams lived with Big U at some point. Now, Rayshawn Williams was found dead in a ditch with multiple bullet wounds in Vegas in 2021. Late last week, Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600, would actually take to social media to reveal that the family of Rayshawn Williams told him that the police located Big U's DNA under Rayshawn Williams' fingernails.
Man, we got some pretty disturbing news, man. And y'all remember a couple of days ago when I mentioned that case where the kid, the football player, You know, it was Big U's son's best friend played on his football team who was living with Big U was killed. And it was saying that Big U didn't show up to the funeral, never contacted the mother for any type of support, anything. Just blocked her and everything, right? It was just like, damn, bro, like you always say if you know anything about these gang murders to give you the information. But when the football player is the best friend of your son who was living with you turns up dead, you don't want nothing to do with nothing, right? So the news came out today, this morning. The mother said that Big U has been denying to give his DNA. So they had to send a warrant to get Big U's DNA. You want to take a wild guess whose DNA came back on his son? Big U, Eugene Henley's DNA came back on her son's fingernails.
WAC 100 will follow this up by posting a call between himself and the family of Rayshawn Williams, where they are alerting WAC 100 that the police plan on arresting Big U in late March, early April.
You got a dope face, it's conspiracy. So, yeah, wait, that is DNA test in my brother's nails. Okay, so, that's bad work. So that means my brother.
Now, that's what y'all been hearing. This one ain't nobody heard. Let me find this shit.
Since April. Hey, they still ain't arrested you, nigga? Well, they told me between me and you, please, between me and you, don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know. They're going to be making an arrest the ending of March, the beginning of April.
She told WAC don't tell nobody, but WAC told the entire internet. Now, WAC's explanation for this is he had to tell the internet because if he didn't, people would look at him a certain way. But right on cue, everything that's been discussed on the internet over the last year and a half surrounding Big U, BRICC Baby, Rayshawn Williams, and everything in Loose Cannon, it all came in fruition, even down to the exact arrest date. Right on cue, the feds announced the federal indictment of Big U and 18 other Rolling 60 associates this morning.
Good morning. I'm Joe McNally, the acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise, an enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies. Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement.
We will learn several things during this press conference. We will learn that the feds have been looking at the podcast in LA. They've been looking at several LA podcasts, recording, taking down everything. So if you've been speaking on an LA podcast as of lately, bro, over the last 4 years, you are in severe trouble. You in trouble. Now, the feds would also alert that this entire investigation, this entire RICO investigation into Big U and his associates and his business dealings all started with the murder of Rayshawn Williams. When they began to...
I've never heard none of this information, but one thing that's crazy about it is that the feds is watching podcasts, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
So if you on here running your mouth, they watching your ass.
When they began to investigate the murder of Rayshawn Williams in 2021, that's when the investigation of Big U and the Rolling 60 started. Now, the feds will officially say that Big U is responsible for the death of Rayshawn Williams, in their opinion.
As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the Rolling 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts, all things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing options which purports to help at youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high crime areas.
Crazy, man. Let's move on, man.
That shit crazy, man. That's some sad shit. Grown men getting tangled up in a lot of bullshit, man.
Right. It's Diddy.
How you feel about Diddy in his case right now and all the updates you hear?
How do I feel about it? Well, listen, I think he should keep well, maybe not. He should keep some rope on his soap or make sure he don't drop it in certain places. In case if he do, he might like it. But long story short is that he need to take his counsel advice. Because if he think he's going to get out of this from the federal government, he out his mind. They in the process of plea bargaining, trying to do a plea bargain session with him, and he not taking it. That's probably why one of the lawyers jumped off the case. Remember Benjamin Bradford, his first lawyer with the Cassie situation? He said, give her the 10 million and make this go away, brother. He ended up giving her 30 million. He's not taking the lawyer's advice. 9 times out of 10, they probably got him a good plea bargain. Yo, listen to me. We can give you 15 years. 10 or 15 years. You do that, you come out, you only have to do like 12, 13. Come off to a halfway house. You still can live some of your life out as a free man. He don't want to hear it. So it is what it is. You got to realize that the trial is in May. This is March. They start the trial in May. The first 2 or 3 months before the trial, the lawyers are working behind scenes trying to plea bargain or try to work up some agreement before they get to the judge. The federal government do not want to go to court. 9 times out of 10, they want a plea bargain with you. You understand? You accept the plea, you accept the time, you go ahead. You save the government money, you save them time and effort and manpower. If you don't believe that that white guy was a plant, then something is wrong with you. He done sold them enough drug, but they haven't hit him with that charge. They haven't did him with that charge yet, or that we know of. If you don't believe that they're gonna try to hit him with those guns in there, they saving all that for last. The drugs, the guns. They'll do another superseding indictment and add those two up if he don't take the plea. If he don't take the plea bargain to the sex trafficking or whatever, stuff like that, they're gonna say, okay, let's add the guns to it and let's add the drugs to it.
How you feel about Keefe D? He out here crying to come home, man.
Keefe D, I think is a mistravesty of justice. That Keefe D is still in jail without a bail, or they're not making his bail low enough for him to go home. For the fact of the matter is that Keefe D was told to say something by an LAPD officer who was writing a book, doing a movie, and making himself rich off of an event that happened in our culture. And that he's in jail because the cops said a lot of these things first, and he just piggybacked on it. But it's gonna come out that was the situation and that was the issue. And he's gonna walk eventually.
So you really believe that he ain't had nothing to do with Pac murder?
I don't believe Keefe D had anything to do with. It just don't make any sense, brother. It don't make no sense that, you know, what he did and how he did it and how Vegas is at that time, that you could get away with something like that. That was something that was orchestrated and planned and was in-house. That's my thoughts.
Before we end it, gotta ask you, Janice Combs,
That's
how
my
you feel
thought.
about, you know, her? I mean, they alleging that she was, you know, having freak offs.
I spoke to a man, Mr. Brown, who used to go to the freak offs. And this guy lives in Georgia right now. And he told me that he was a stick-up kid back in the day. And one time he had robbed one of their spots. And he went back and he had got the money and gave them their money back and everything like that. And he knew Miss Combs and he knew about her and her freak offs and everything like that. We had always thought that she had a modeling agency, but it wasn't a modeling agency. It was more of a brothel that she ran for high-profile drug dealers and athletes. You could tell by I could tell that Miss Combs at the time, and actually saw her, like young guys. She came at me a couple of times back in my heyday, you know, before the extra 75 pounds back then. And the reason I left Bad Boy wasn't only because of her advances, it was because I got tired of a lot of the bullshit with her and her son. So to hear that she ran a brothel, giving parties and sex parties, you understand? It's easy to say he get it from his mama.
That was deep, wasn't it?
Yeah, shit, that got pretty real quick.
What if I told you that there's a secret society with access to knowledge that allows them to control reality? And those who are a part of this society actually became some of the most powerful and influential humans in history, whose achievements consisted of winning wars, creating art that's still popular hundreds of years later, and changing the course of mankind with their inventions. Would you believe me? Well, the society that I'm talking about are the Freemasons. Within this society, though, there are different ranks, the most elite of which being the Freemasons of the highest rank, the 33rd degree Freemason, of which there are only a very few. You see, some of these individuals included the likes of Henry Ford, Benjamin Franklin, Mozart, Winston Churchill. Now, these men were the forefront of some of the most significant events in history. So the question to ask now is this: how were some of the most powerful individuals in history all part of the same organization, the same group? Did they have access to some knowledge that nobody else knew about? Here's the thing. The secrets of the Freemasons run much deeper than just its famous members. In fact, they've been rumored to be behind some of the biggest events in history, from the American Revolution to the French Revolution, and even the founding of the United States itself. Can you imagine how crazy that is? And for generations, the Freemasons have kept their secrets very, very closely guarded. But today, these secrets are now hidden in plain sight and woven into the very fabric of our modern-day society. And it's available to those who choose to open their eyes and see. Now, there was one man in particular who dared to shed light into the 33rd degree Masonic teachings, and his name was Manly Palmer Hall, who was initiated as a Freemason in 1954, and it took him 19 years to attain the status of a 33rd degree Freemason. Manly Hall's most influential piece of work was his book titled The Secret Teachings of All Ages, and in it he clearly and cleverly hides the Masonic teachings to control reality with the power of your mind. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the three main components of this Masonic teaching that will allow you to harness the power of your mind without the need to sell yourself. But they need to be paid close attention to and handled with care. Otherwise, they may become dangerous. So with that, let's get started. The book Manly Hall wrote, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, is highly sought after for a reason. The teachings within it are incredibly profound. It's easy to understand why it has garnered such attention. What's important to note is that the book outlines three main principles that I've observed in every successful person I've studied. These individuals, who were masters at shaping their reality and aligning it with their intentions, consistently followed these three principles. The first of these is the law of cause and effect. In Chapter 3 of The Secret Teachings of All Ages, titled The Human Body and Symbolism, Manly Hall emphasizes the unchanging nature of this law with the quote, "The immutability of the law was stressed, that every thought and act must react according to the nature of the energy liberated thereby. This reaction was symbolized by the circle, the symbol of infinite action. So I want you to take a moment to reflect on some key parts here. He talks about the immutability of the law, but then he also mentions the concept of infinite action and the circle. And this goes to suggest that everything that we're seeing in life is cyclical. It follows a cycle with respect to time. So society follows a cyclical fashion. Civilizations and empires rise, and then they fall, just like currencies. And this happened in the past with the German mark during the World War, with every single ancient civilization. Now they're thinking that, civilization wasn't linear, but advanced civilizations existed 12,000 years ago. They're starting to find out that the pyramids were actually built 14,000 to 15,000 years ago because of the erosion marks that they're seeing. And the erosion marks they're seeing in the pyramids actually...
All right, what you think about this so far? You want to continue or you want to keep... He got a good voice, so it's kind of like you want to hear what he got to say, but it might put you to sleep.
Yeah, you gotta really dig into that shit. Like he got that voice. He got like that Clear Eye voice. Like remember the dude from the Clear Eye commercials?
Yeah.
It's like you can listen to him, but after a while you be out of there.
Yeah, I almost fell asleep listening to that nigga.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy Delray Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor, click the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And like I always say, if you want to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this Straight Game, please do me a favor and click on what appears to be that little bell notification right below this video. It's late in the evening. Approximately 8:30. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Real big news in Los Angeles today. Real big news in Los Angeles. Everybody heard about the Big U situation. It's kind of sad all the way around, if you ask me. I always like, in situations like that, I always like to reserve judgment. So we're going to see what happens with that. Big U has turned himself in. And, like I said, reserve judgment. They say they got evidence. It's a RICO case, and you know what I mean. We'll see where that goes. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Wait for a couple other people come up in here. Bruno 67, Rain G4, Peterman Johns, Tyrell Robinson, Q Smooth, West Coast Customs, Machiavelli TV, Roosevelt B, The Don, Ryan T, Antonio Garcia, Del Norte. Greetings from Holland, Rotterdam. What's happening? JJ.
Where we at with it, man? We hitting our hour. You ready to shut it down, D Glass, or what?
Yeah, yo. Hey, yo. We can get back on tomorrow, run it up, get us some new topics.
Yep, I think we touched basic with a couple different things, man. A lot of this shit though is real deep, man. You know what I'm saying? Free the people. It's deep. We're gonna jump back into it tomorrow. I see we had a couple views going on. Y'all seen the title. This was part 2. We're gonna jump into part 3 tomorrow. Shout out my boy D Class for jumping on with me. This is the news you can use on the brand podcast. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe. You got anything to say to the people before we go?
Man, shit, y'all take it easy, man, and we'll holler at y'all tomorrow, man.
And we out.